welcome guys to another episode of WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. My name is Kaisah and we are coming to you today with 205 Live, and we are officially 1 week away from the NXT Takeover pay-per-view in England. So what is going to happen tonight when Samoa Joe meets TJ Perkins in the main event? We will only find out on 205 Live. We got a big show in store for you guys tonight. Now this match right here was personally asked for by the Cruiserweight Champion himself, Brian Kendrick. Because if you guys remember last episode on 205 Live, Brian Kendrick suffered a shocking loss to Lince Dorado, and that pretty much shocked the whole entire WWE universe, as they were not expecting Lince Dorado to get the better of Brian Kendrick on that day. Well, Lince Dorado is having a lot of momentum going into this last man standing match against Tony Nese at NXT Takeover England this Sunday, and that is right, NXT Takeover will be taking place in England. I finally decided to look at the calendar and find out which NXT Takeover it is. Thank God for that. So it is NXT Takeover England, and that is going to be headlining with the NXT Championship match between Samoa Joe and whoever wins the finals of the tournament on NXT episode, the next one, and Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins for the Cruiserweight Championship, as we're going to see TJP in action later on tonight. But that right there is the Cruiserweight Champion Brian Kendrick, who is looking for some revenge. So if I'm Lince Dorado, I would be very, very afraid, because Dorado has one hell of a match to look forward to against Tony Nese, and he right now has to go into another match against Brian Kendrick. Well, Lince Dorado was looking very impressive last week on 205 Live. He pretty much showed Brian Kendrick that he's ready to wrestle with the big dogs, and Lince Dorado could hang with the best of them. And he hasn't allowed Tony Nese to really get in his head, as he was focused on that match, and he got that victory over Brian Kendrick. So Lince Dorado is definitely riding into 205 Live today on a high horse, because he's just been so impressive. So many wins under Dorado's belt. He's 1-1 with Tony Nese, and the victor of that rivalry will be decided at NXT TakeOver England. So we have a lot in store for that NXT TakeOver event. So just to give you guys a little bit of info on NXT TakeOver in England, it will be taking place this Sunday in the game time. I mean, normally I try not to give a scheduled date for the universe mode, because I kind of do it whenever I have time. So it's going to be very soon. I'm definitely working on getting all of these videos out really quickly, so I can start on the NXT TakeOver recording soon. So just got to get through the next episode of NXT and then SmackDown and then NXT TakeOver time. So I can't give you guys a scheduled date of when NXT TakeOver will be here. Just make sure you keep posted to the channel on YouTube, and it will definitely be around very soon. I try not to leave too much of a gap between videos, as right now Lince Dorado just stomping on Brian Kendrick's back, not even allowing the Cruiserweight Champion to get up, as a different side of Lince Dorado than we're normally seeing. He's normally the one who's flying high on the ropes, but now he's just kind of using Brian Kendrick's own style against him, is now Kendrick responding with a kick to the elbow, and now there goes Brian Kendrick going to the top, as we saw him attempt this last week and it didn't really go so well for the Cruiserweight Champion. Will he be able to hit something big? And there goes a drop kick right on point. So going back to the NXT TakeOver event, yes, we have so many matches in store for you, and I know, wait a minute, hold that thought, that is Tony Nese coming to the ring right now, and you have to expect this. Brian Kendrick lost against Lince Dorado, so it's just about right that Kendrick makes a deal with Nese to come out tonight to ensure that that doesn't happen again. So now the premier athlete on the corner of Brian Kendrick, making sure that Lince Dorado is kind of in an emotional frenzy, is now Brian Kendrick moving out of that moonsault attempt by Lince Dorado. My bad, I completely just lost my mind right there. I'm still just shocked that Tony Nese is out here. So now Lince Dorado is in a little bit of trouble, as Brian Kendrick now with the Hurricane Rana, as Lince Dorado is hanging on the ropes, and now these two men are just going at it right now. Nese is absolutely ecstatic to see Lince Dorado get hurt right before their last man standing match. But again, for the third time, I'm really sorry I keep getting off this subject. Back to the NXT TakeOver. We're going to have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. It's going to be the Revival versus DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, for those people who don't really watch NXT too much. So that's going to be the match for the NXT Tag Team Championships, as well as Asuka will be defending the NXT Women's Championship against Billie Kay and Mickie James. So we're going to have a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship, and we have the NXT title on the line between Samoa Joe and whoever the winner of the finalist is, and then we have our Cruiserweight Championships on the line. So it's going to be one hell of a show. Definitely don't miss NXT TakeOver in England. So getting back to this match, Lince Dorado is back on his feet, kind of recovering from the short little onslaught that Brian Kendrick was delivering to him, and there goes a stomp to the arm. There has been nothing pretty about Lince Dorado's offense lately. He's just been a brawler, just beating the life out of whoever he was in the ring with. Tony Nese could tell you, he's on the other side of the ring cheering for Brian Kendrick, but you gotta think that he has a lot of damage because of all of the suffering he dealt with from Lince Dorado over the past couple of weeks. So now Lince Dorado just using Brian Kendrick's chest as a set of stairs is now what does Lince Dorado have planned here? Trying to get the Cruiserweight universe behind him right now. Is Brian Kendrick just slugging at him? That is a mistake from Lince Dorado. You never turn your back on Brian Kendrick, as we've seen that Kendrick has taken absolute advantage of TJ Perkins when he wasn't looking. But TJP has 2 victories over Brian Kendrick, and there goes that shooting star press that he attempted last week, but this time he got all of it, as Tony Nese just absolutely happy that Brian Kendrick is delivering this kind of damage to Lince Dorado. There goes a kick out at 2 by Dorado. So you have to wonder why Tony Nese is out here. I mean, obviously he's going to be fighting Lince Dorado, so it will definitely help to have a little bit of a close-up view of your opponent. And there goes the standing moonsault onto Brian Kendrick with the cartwheel right before it, and a shooting star press that right there put Kendrick away last week, but Kendrick with the wherewithal to move out of the way this time. Brian Kendrick last week ate all of that shooting star press, but now the Cruiserweight champion knows a little bit better than that. He's a little bit smarter. Lince Dorado's going to have to work just a little bit harder to get this victory over Brian Kendrick, and there goes another stomp to the leg. So as I was saying last week, the action on 205 Live has been absolutely amazing. I mean, we've seen some amazing contests from Dorado, from Nese, from Kendrick, from Perkins, and now, oh, that last DDT just busting open Lince Dorado right there. Some bad news for him. And now tonight we have the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, on our show, and there goes another shooting star press, as Brian Kendrick may just defeat Lince Dorado with his own move tonight, but Dorado kicks out. Lince Dorado will love nothing more than to get another victory over the Cruiserweight champion. But Lince Dorado is not going to go down without a fight. Even though that Tony Nese is out here, Dorado's going to do everything he has to do to put Kendrick away. So now Brian Kendrick just tossing Lince Dorado into the corner. What does he have planned here is now, oh, here goes Brian Kendrick with sliced bread number 2. He gets all of that. Lince Dorado's in a world of trouble. After the sliced bread, Brian Kendrick will be leaving with the victory today. And you cannot be surprised. Tony Nese just too much of a distraction for Lince Dorado. He cannot focus on this match 100%. Well, there goes Brian Kendrick gaining some well-needed momentum going into NXT TakeOver in England, as he's suffered so many losses over the last couple of weeks. He lost 2 times to TJ Perkins, and then he lost another time to Lince Dorado. So Brian Kendrick definitely getting back on the horse right now. So will he be able to keep this momentum going into NXT TakeOver when he faces TJ Perkins for the championship? Well, I honestly think that Kendrick has a big chance to beat Perkins, because TJP is facing the NXT Champion Samoa Joe tonight in the main event. I'm so excited for that match. I cannot even wait. Samoa Joe addressed it on NXT last week, saying that he's going to destroy TJ Perkins today. So this is going to be one hell of a match to look forward to. Or there goes Brian Kendrick getting the victory over Lince Dorado. So we're going to see if TJP could beat. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for. This is your main event tonight on 205 Live, our mega main event, as the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship will be going one-on-one with the NXT World Champion Samoa Joe. And there goes TJ Perkins, trying to look as confident as he can, but you have to think TJ Perkins has 2 victories over Brian Kendrick, which is definitely going to add some confidence. But he needs to also understand that Brian Kendrick is very crafty. He's a very smart champion, so he cannot take him lightly. Just because he was able to beat him twice on 205 Live, it's definitely going to be a different story when that championship is on the line. Because we see a whole different side of Brian Kendrick when that title was on the line. But right now, TJP has to worry about the nearly 300-pound Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. So what's going to happen here? Can TJ Perkins pull the upset of the century? Well, Samoa Joe pretty much saying on NXT this past Thursday, or this past Wednesday, my bad, that he's going to absolutely destroy TJ Perkins. And here comes the NXT champion. As you can see, the fans just standing up in respect. Samoa Joe is not a well-liked man, but you have to respect him. And there goes Samoa Joe, the NXT champion, just glaring at the crowd, glaring at TJ Perkins. This is going to be one hell of a battle, guys. As Samoa Joe, he hasn't really been in too much action lately. I mean, he's been having a couple of matches here and there on NXT. This is going to be probably Samoa Joe's biggest test of them all leading into the NXT Takeover England. But Samoa Joe, he's definitely have a lot to think about as well. He has to think about the fact that Magnus and Elias Sampson will be facing off in the finals. So the winner of that match will be taking on Samoa Joe for that NXT title at Takeover. So Samoa Joe needs to get his head in this match as well, because even though Samoa Joe has the clear size and weight advantage over TJP, he cannot underestimate TJ Perkins, because that right there is a mistake in itself, because we've seen the heart that TJ Perkins has. So now TJP looking at Samoa Joe, as this is going to be probably TJ Perkins' biggest challenge in his life. This is the biggest match in TJP's career. Samoa Joe starts off quickly with a side suplex. So Samoa Joe was hell-bent on destroying TJ Perkins today, and he's going to stick to that. So there goes TJ Perkins with a couple of kicks to the leg of Samoa Joe. TJP knows the task at hand, and he knows the opportunity that lies in front of him. There goes a spinning moonsault attempt, but Samoa Joe with the wherewithal to move out. So now TJ Perkins, this is probably his most experienced opponent to date. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Cruiserweight Champion, Brian Kendrick. I'm not trying to take away anything from anybody TJ Perkins has faced, but Samoa Joe has been around for a very long time. He's had one hell of a career. He's been in Ring of Honor. He's been in TNA. This man knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to win high-profile matches, which is why Samoa Joe walks into this match absolutely calm. He has no worries in the world. We said Samoa Joe has probably either Magnus or Elias Sampson to worry about. There goes Perkins spinning on his head, taking out Samoa Joe. That right there was a surprising display of repertoire from TJP, and there goes Samoa Joe with an attempted forearm. So TJ Perkins is definitely going to have to use his speed in this match to take out the bigger Samoa Joe is now. Samoa Joe obviously with the game plan to dissect TJ Perkins, not allowing him to use that speed in this match. Because basically, when Samoa Joe gets his hands on you, it's over. There is no way to escape the clutches of Samoa Joe. Such a good submission specialist. And there goes TJP with a sunset flip, taking on the NXT champion. So when this announcement was made 2 weeks ago on 205 Live, there's been a lot of good comments coming from the 205 Live website, as they were just excited for this match. I mean, this is not even a takeover match, and everybody is talking about it. Samoa Joe versus TJ Perkins. And look at this submission move that TJP has locked on Samoa Joe. That right there was ugly by TJP, and then Samoa Joe responding with a snapmare. This right here is going to be a battle within battles. As Samoa Joe said, there's a good chance that TJ Perkins may not be able to make it to Takeover. There goes a right hand by the Samoan submission machine, dropping Perkins onto the outside. And now Perkins trying to get to his feet. Samoa Joe on the apron. What has he got planned here? Is now Samoa Joe went for an attempted flying clothesline, but I guess he miscalculated there. Is now TJ Perkins trying to fight him off, but Samoa Joe just too much right now. As now look at this exploder suplex there. TJ Perkins on the outside. That's not going to do good for your spine. Samoa Joe now feeding off the hatred from this crowd. Everybody booing the Samoa submission machine, but Samoa Joe has no cares in the world. He's going to do what he has to do, and he's going to destroy TJ Perkins like he promised on NXT. It's now Samoa Joe right there with a belly-to-belly suplex back into the ring. TJ Perkins needs to find something here. He's getting absolutely decimated by Samoa Joe. Now Joe picks him up, and right there goes a modified power bomb there. TJ Perkins now writhing in pain. You could see that this match is having its effects on TJP. He's a little bit slower than usual. He can't really get to his feet. As now Samoa Joe goes to the top rope. What does he have planned here? It's now Samoa Joe with double knees to the gut of Perkins. That right there is nearly 300 pounds falling on your abdomen. Perkins is in trouble. He has not really got any offense in this match at all. Ever since that beginning little Hurricane Rana. Now there goes TJP responding with double knees to the spine of Joe. But now Joe quickly grabs TJ Perkins and tosses him back into the turnbuckle. And now look at this. Samoa Joe with a German, release German on TJP. So I don't know what the hell is going on with TJ Perkins right now. I mean, he's not really focused on this match, I guess. He's worried too much about the Cruiserweight title match between himself and Brian Kendrick. But there goes a kick out by Perkins again. Things are not looking so good right now for TJP. Samoa Joe now stomping in the corner. I guess Joe wants to finish this match as fast as possible. He does not want to take too much damage. There goes another belly-to-belly suplex. This has been a suplex fest here on 205 Live. And there goes Perkins with a shot to Joe's jaw. What is TJP going to do here? Nice snap suplex there by Perkins, trying to get himself back in this match. TJP now trying to look for something big. He needs to definitely go to the skies to defeat Joe. And now Joe countering again with another clubbing blow to Perkins' head. And now another side suplex there by Joe. As now the back of Perkins' head must be done. He's landed on his head so many times in this match. This is not going to spell anything good for Perkins come NXT TakeOver when he faces Kendrick. As now Joe picks up TJP, and now Perkins responds with another shot to Joe. What is he going to do here? As now picks up Joe, and there goes attempted suplex by Perkins, not working. And now look, oh my God, what a combination by Samoa Joe. He's dropping TJ Perkins to the floor. And now Perkins back in the mercy of the NXT champion. This is exactly why Samoa Joe was the NXT champion. Does it get more dominant than Joe? And there goes another exploder suplex. As we are seeing the absolute decimation of the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. Brian Kendrick definitely licking his chops right now because TJP is in a world of trouble. There goes an attempted jawbreaker there by Perkins, trying to get himself back in this match. With Samoa Joe just too much with the counters. TJ Perkins, man, I've not seen him take this much offense in a while. And there goes a German suplex. Samoa Joe holding him down, and then a kick out at 2 by Perkins. The referee checking on TJ, making sure that he's still in the condition to face off in this match. And there goes Perkins again, fending off Samoa Joe, and then Joe with a DDT. The whole entire crowd is behind TJ Perkins right now, but this right here is just absolute destruction. And there goes a senton, nearly 300 pounds back onto your abdomen. As now Perkins may have broken ribs, and now here comes Samoa Joe with a trifecta of suplexes. We've seen this before. If he delivers this to either Elias Sampson or Magnus on Sunday, this could be it. And there goes, not letting go, straight jacket German, and Perkins kicks out. And you saw the neck of TJP just twist for that kick out. As Samoa Joe now he's kind of feeling a little bit of fatigue right now because Perkins just taking the beating and kicking out. So now Samoa Joe, what does he have planned here? Is Perkins again fighting back. TJP needs to come back in this match. Another kick by Joe. And now Samoa Joe going for exploder #3. Dropping Perkins in the mat. What? This is just destruction. I don't even know what to call this. This is getting a little bit uncomfortable to watch now. As Samoa Joe again, another modified power bomb, and this time Perkins is busted open. This is not looking good at all for TJP. The referee may have to call this match. As now Perkins trying to come back, but no. Samoa Joe with another counter. Look at this STF-like move on TJP. Perkins trying to crawl to the ropes. I think he made it to the ropes. Samoa Joe forced to let go of the break, but now the decimation continues as now there goes a stomp to the gut. So many moves to the gut of Perkins in this match. TJP is not even moving. Samoa Joe is definitely showing why he is the top man on NXT, and now there goes a kick out by Perkins as now Perkins trying to get the crowd behind him, but Perkins needs to deliver something big. He needs to stop cheering himself on. It's now Joe with another counter. Perkins in a world of trouble. Pendulum backbreaker, and now the spine. As Samoa Joe has attacked all parts of the anatomy at least once in this match. Those exploders definitely adding some impact on your spine, and then all those gut busters and moves off the top rope definitely not going to do good for the abdomen. As now Samoa Joe just continues to dissect Perkins, all parts of the anatomy. Now he's going after the arm. As now Samoa Joe just gaining some momentum. Now finally going for a cover on Perkins. Will this be enough as TJP kicks out again? TJ Perkins, man, this is not looking good at all. As right now, Samoa Joe running off, and there goes another senton on Perkins. As now there goes Perkins again, another counter as Samoa Joe was trying to look for the trifectas, and now Perkins trying to go to the leg. And no, Samoa Joe with another side suplex, but that time Samoa Joe's fatigue keeping him down. Samoa Joe having to crawl to the ropes. Well, even though TJ Perkins has not delivered so much offense in this match, he's definitely messing around with the fatigue of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, a much bigger man, it gets harder to respond to those kickouts after a while. There goes a kick to the forehead. There's nothing pretty about Samoa Joe as Perkins is finding that out right now. Look at this. TJ Perkins out of nowhere. Fireman's carry into the kick. Oh my God. TJP may do it. He may beat Samoa Joe tonight on 205 Live. He just hit that kick after the fireman's carry. Samoa Joe down, but a shoulder up. TJ Perkins' hope of getting back in this match has just disintegrated. As Perkins trying to get the crowd behind him. He needs to focus though. Samoa Joe is dazed. He needs to capitalize as here comes TJ Perkins as he's coming back in this match. And now there goes a Pele kick by TJ Perkins. Perkins may have Samoa Joe rocked, and now Samoa Joe responding with another clubbing blow as now Samoa Joe attempted the trifecta of suplexes again, and now there goes a chop to the chest, and Perkins responding with a jawbreaker. TJ Perkins showing life. And now there goes Perkins, tornado DDT onto the NXT champion. The 205 Live crowd is absolutely on their feet. Perkins now measuring Joe. What is going to happen now? Perkins has Joe up again. Fireman's carry into the kick. TJ Perkins may have this victory. The NXT champion is down, guys. Perkins with the cover on Joe. Joe is looking up at the lights. And TJP, no. I thought Perkins was about to get that victory. Samoa Joe's chances of winning this main event match slipping through his fingers. Is now TJ Perkins, blood streaming down the face. He was able to hit that kick, and now Perkins is fighting back. He's giving Joe everything he has. Forearm to the face. Brian Kendrick better be watching this. This right here is the extreme heart of TJ Perkins. And there goes a frog splash off the springboard. TJ Perkins is absolutely destroying Samoa Joe. Spitting moonsault. TJ Perkins needs to deliver something big, but Joe once again fighting back with a blow to the right side of the face. And here comes Perkins fighting back, but Perkins too dazed. He could not capitalize. Snap suplex on TJP. There goes a cover by the NXT champion. And TJ Perkins kicks out. Could you guys believe the action going on tonight on 205 Live? Samoa Joe has beat the living daylights out of Perkins, and he's found a way to come back. And there goes a stomp to the already bloodied head of Perkins. As TJP not giving up, Hurricane Rana on the NXT champion. And now TJ Perkins waiting for Samoa Joe to get back to his feet, guys. This may be it. Samoa Joe may be in trouble. And there goes Samoa Joe countering that attempted scoop slam into the German suplex. As As now there goes a stomp to the back of the neck, and there goes Samoa Joe wrenching the neck of TJ Perkins. Perkins may have to tap out right now, but TJP not giving up, knees to the head of Joe. TJ Perkins is doing everything he can to get the upset victory, and there goes a kick to the lower lumbar region of Joe. As now Perkins bringing Joe back to his feet. As now Joe goes back into the corner. What does TJ Perkins have planned here for Samoa Joe? As now Perkins, and there goes a disaster kick off the second turnbuckle. TJ Perkins is absolutely amazing today. He's doing everything he can to defeat Samoa Joe. Brian Kendrick must not be happy in the back to see that Perkins is still in this match, but Joe catching Perkins into the power bomb, and there goes Perkins' chance of winning this match. But Perkins kicking back out. What a main event here on 205 Live. This is probably the best main event of 205 Live in a long time, guys, as there goes an attempted pin by Perkins and a kick out by Joe. I cannot believe that we are witnessing this action here on 205 Live. I would not want to be anywhere else calling any other action besides this. But now Samoa Joe picking up TJP and into the power bomb. There goes the cover. Perkins may not be able to kick out of that. And what? And there goes the submission hold. Samoa Joe not letting go of that pin attempt. TJP may be in trouble as he trips Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe cannot even believe what is going on right now. He does not know how TJ Perkins is still in this match. And there goes Perkins tripping Joe. What is Perkins going to do now to put him away? There goes a pin attempt, but I don't think that's going to keep Joe down. And Samoa Joe kicks out at 2.5. TJ Perkins bloodied. He has barely anything left, but he's delivering all the offense he can to Samoa Joe. This is going to be what it takes to defeat Brian Kendrick at the NXT Takeover pay-per-view. As now TJ Perkins waiting for Joe to get back to his feet. I'm so surprised of this flurry of offense that TJ Perkins has had in this match. And there goes a hurricane run off the springboard. Perkins may have it here, but he doesn't go for the cover. So now Perkins just walking around Joe, waiting for his next move. There goes another spinning moonsault. TJP needs to deliver a cover, but TJ Perkins is trying to figure out how he's going to keep the big man down. And now Perkins goes back to the second rope, and another spinning moonsault, but this time from the second turnbuckle. And now Perkins going back, as now he's trying to keep Samoa Joe down with all of these turnbuckle and flying moves. Smart move from TJ Perkins. Samoa Joe in trouble, and this time the headbutt to the back of Joe's neck. Perkins now going back to the second turnbuckle as Perkins realizes that his only way to win is to keep flying. That's how he's going to keep Joe down. And there goes a moonsault catching Joe on the back of his neck. As Samoa Joe attempting to grab Perkins, and now look at that, Perkins grabbing the leg of Joe. What does he have here? Oh, I thought he was going to go for that knee bar, but instead crushing the knee, maybe setting Joe up for that knee bar. It's now Joe kicking Perkins right off of him. TJP desperately needs to find something big, as now Joe smashing the arm into the ring. Joe now with a cover on Perkins and a kick out again. This is one hell of a match, guys. As Samoa Joe now trying to show the crowd that he's the best. If you're Elias Sampson or Magnus right now, you have to be licking your chops, because TJP is getting it done. He's doing what he has to do to keep Joe down. There goes a knee to the throat. As now Perkins measuring Joe. Will this be the third fireman's carry into the kick? Oh my God, Perkins has him up. Perkins has Joe up. There goes the kick after the fireman's carry. Will that be enough? TJ Perkins may beat the NXT Champion tonight on 205 Live. Will the home field advantage give Perkins the victory tonight? And oh my God, the referee's hand hit the mat for 3, but Joe got his shoulder up at the last minute. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Joe has kicked out of 3 of TJ Perkins' best moves, but TJP is not giving up. And there goes Perkins, and there goes a corkscrew moonsault onto Joe. Oh my God, I cannot believe this action, guys. This is absolutely phenomenal. And there goes a kick to the leg of Perkins. Joe realizing that TJ Perkins nearly ended this match. Is now what is Perkins doing, as Joe is now on the outside, and there goes Joe hitting Perkins, and now Perkins is dazed on the turnbuckle, but Joe not doing anything to capitalize. I think he's too busy trying to catch his breath, and now Joe just tossing Perkins right off the top rope. That right there may have been a huge mistake for Perkins, as now Samoa Joe grabbing Perkins, reverse suplex, driving the face of Perkins into the mat, and there goes another kick across the chest. As now Samoa Joe, and this is not looking good for TJ Perkins, and here goes the trifecta of suplexes by Samoa Joe again. The dragon suplex followed by the straight jacket German, and now there goes Perkins' time against this NXT champion. Thank you for coming. Samoa Joe is gonna leave with the victory today. But that was one hell of a battle, guys. TJ Perkins gave the NXT champion Samoa Joe everything he had. I honestly want to see these two men face off again in the future. That is how good this match was. You guys pretty much witnessed the best main event in 205 Live history, as TJP took Samoa Joe to the absolute limit. But Samoa Joe proved to be too much for Perkins. Perkins delivering 3 of his finisher moves onto Samoa Joe, but it was just not good enough, as Samoa Joe will be leaving 205 Live tonight with the victory over TJ Perkins. Samoa Joe just proving his dominance. This right here shows you to not mess with the Samoan submission machine.